LeBron spends over $1 million a year on his own body. Not cars, not jewelry, more like cold tubs, hyperbaric chambers, a full-time team whose only job is keeping this 41-year-old in the league. He just finished his 23rd season. Nobody in league history has finished or even played a 23rd season. And as I'm filming this video right now, he is actually a free agent and has told the Lakers he does not want to return to LA. I think he's gonna go to Golden State and play with Steph and Draymond, but that's a completely different video. And what I cannot stop thinking about is this is the same guy who has turned himself into a billion-dollar business but keeps launching products nobody remembers. He's done it twice now. A supplement company that quietly sold off and a grooming line sitting on a Walmart discount shelf right now. So I'm gonna pretend if LeBron called me tomorrow and said, hey, I need you to be my creative strategist, this is the $100 million brand I would pitch to him. Real category, real margin, and some real math. And the best day to launch it might be the day he actually retires. So before making this video, I went down a rabbit hole. Every product that he's ever put his own name on, as well as every celebrity brand that actually worked, just to find the pattern. Quick context, if you are new here, I run a creative agency called Orange Tree Studio, and this is the actual job. Founders pay me to pull their actual brand apart and rebuild how it's positioned, packaged, and sold. I've worked with a few large creators and professional athletes, and if that work has taught me anything, it's that fame gets a product picked up once, but having a real brand is what gets that product picked up twice, and so on and so forth. So I'm running King James through the exact process that I'd run a paying client through. And really it starts somewhere that almost sounds too small to matter, because before the product, before the logo, before anybody's made a dollar, the first thing I lock down for a client is the name. And in 2026, when thinking about the name, you need to also heavily consider the domain as well. So let me show you the actual move I'd make for LeBron on day one. When you register a web address, that little part after the dot is the extension. A .com can be anything, a blog, a law firm, somebody's old resume from 2009. But a .store domain tells you the one thing the second you read it. It says this is a place to buy something. That's exactly what it was built for. And that clarity quietly works for you when a person or Google or one of these new AI tools reads your name.store. They already know what they're looking at before they even click. The right people show up. The name's doing some of the selling before you've even said a word. And this is not some fridge software. Mr. Beast is on a .store. So is Ronaldo, Lando Norris, Lorde, and a ton of other sellers worldwide who just wanted their web address to read like what it actually is. So here's what I do today. Head to get.store, grab the yourname.store you've probably already got in your head, and with the code Carson, you get the first year for 99 cents. The link's in the description, pinned in the comments. So go ahead, give yourself the edge, and let's get back to LeBron because the name is only step one. There are 3 rules before I pick anything. The constraints are the whole thing keeping this from turning into another celebrity vanity project. Rule number 1, no crowded celebrity aisles. Just look where everyone famous already is. The Rock's got a tequila, Kendall Jenner's got a tequila, George Clooney just sold his for $1 billion, which is exactly why everyone wanted to start a tequila business anyways. Spirits, beauty, apparel, snacks, supplements, that's the entire celebrity menu. And once a few famous faces are sitting in the same exact aisle, you're just one more bottle with a face and a signature on it. Rule number 2 is the one most of them break. The brand has to be true. My test is stupidly simple. Would he still use this if nobody paid him to do it? You'd believe Joe Rogan if he started selling kettlebells and said that they work. Whatever we build for LeBron has to live inside the life people already have watched him live. Otherwise, it's a licensing deal with another signature on it. Rule number 3, it has to outlive the jersey. Most athlete brands run on relevance. They sell while the games still matter. Then the games stop mattering, and then they have no brand. This brand has to be built for the decade after basketball. Before I give you my pick, look at the 2 swings he's already taken. The misses tell you exactly what to fix. He co-founds a sports nutrition brand called Ladder, co-partnered with Arnold Schwarzenegger. On paper, this is about as stacked as a founding team as a fitness brand gets. But just 2 years later, it gets sold off to a fitness app and is slowly vanishing. And if you look about how that brand actually showed up, you can see why. It sold certifications and protein specs, clean label, NSF certified, trusted by pros. It's all fine, but every supplement company on earth says those exact words. There was nothing to belong to. No world, no identity, nothing you would actually wear and be proud to say you're a part of. Just because a product has a few big faces and athletes on the cap table does not mean it's going to win. Then a few years ago, a grooming line over at Walmart. The product was called The Shop. It was face wash, beard oil, pomade, things like that, all priced under $10. And it's fine, and it's a fine product, but it's just completely a distribution play. It's basically just renting his name to move units off a shelf. And shelf products usually live and die on price. Both broke the same rule. They started with the product and they completely skipped the world building. So in a few weeks, when I'm on a Zoom call pitching this to LeBron, I'm going to open with one question. What do you have that no other athlete in history has had? Jordan's got the 6 championships and the iconic silhouette, but LeBron has something Jordan never had, something nobody's ever really had. Time. 23 seasons at the highest level of hoops. He even named this villain years ago, Father Time. And he's openly talked about in the media against his own personal battle against Father Time. So the villain is right there. So the category we're going to build in is longevity, but not the same angle that most longevities play that is slightly creepy. Brian Johnson raised $60 million for his this year, with Kim K, Paris Hilton, and Saquon Barkley on the cap table. This angle is more anti-aging, lab coats, live to 150. And LeBron's angle is the opposite of the lab coat. He's not trying to cheat death in a clinic. He's the guy who just refused to decline. 23 seasons, still starting, still putting up 25, 8, and 6, while everyone his age retired 10 years ago. So the brand isn't necessarily about living forever. It's more so about staying in the game. And before you tell me this is a weak idea, let's go ahead and walk the aisle of longevity. Foam rollers, Epsom salt, magnesium, sleep stuff, massage guns, cold plunges, and right now it all comes in one of 2 flavors, either drugstore packaging you hide in a cabinet or a $400 gadget covered in spec sheets. The category is massive, it's growing, and from a brand point of view, it is completely wide opening for the taking. Exactly the kind of boring shelf I've been talking about every single video before this. Tom Brady built his own brand, TB12, around his own longevity. He played till he was 45, he wrote a book, opened the training centers, and then not too long after merged with Noble and winded down the brand. He sold his homework, the protocols, the whole live like Tom routine. It's clinical, it was a little preachy, and it asks you to basically become like Tom Brady, which is tough for most people to do. So both ends are taken. Brian Johnson's got the lab coat extremist, Brady tried to sell the curriculum, and the lesson sitting right in between them is the entire brand LeBron can win in. You sell the identity of the guy who never stops grinding the process. You don't sell the protocol. So now the category is picked, the villain, Father Time, is named. Now let's actually build the thing. And this is the exact part where most celebrity launches fail miserably. So let me get specific. First, the name has to carry the story. I'm going to call it still. Think about what the word does. It's quiet and calm, which is really the last thing you would expect about a product and brand built around longevity and refusing to quit. But that tension is the point. And if you read it the other way, it is the whole brand in one word. Still going, still starting, still in the game after everyone else decided to quit. It says nothing about basketball or his jersey number like TB12, so it survives the day he retires. And it means something to anyone who refuses to age out of whatever their thing is. That tension is on purpose. Elite brands almost always live on a paradox like that. That friction is what makes a name stick in your head. Then the actual products themselves. I'm thinking it's going to be in 3 layers released over time. The first layer is the ritual, the consumables, a magnesium soak, a sleep stack, a recovery protein. Stuff like that runs around 80% margins. And IMA congruents have clearly proven that people love to repurchase every month on subscription. So that subscription layer quietly prints money in the background. The second layer is the hero object, one beautiful recovery tool designed like a piece of furniture. So you build the still chair, heat, compression, the whole recovery stack hidden inside a beautiful piece of furniture that could sit right next to a really good reading lamp. This could be an elite chance to move something that usually belongs in a training room right into the living room. The marketing campaigns could be crazy. You could have King James coming back and sitting in his chair and call it the throne that you sink into every night to prepare for another battle against Father Time tomorrow. And this hero project works because it hits both switches at once. There's the narcissism. It looks incredible. It's a flex to own. It's probably going to be very expensive, so people will want it and want to aspire to have it. And then there's the altruism. It's a generally good for you product. It actually helps you recover. Eric Ryan, the CPG GOAT, goat who built Method and Ollie, talks about this exact combo often. When a product is both a flex and it's good for you, that's the whole game. The still hero object, the still chair, is built to be both. And the third layer is the identity, the merch, the language, the membership, the people who really buy in and get a name for what they are doing. They're the type of people that are still in the game, just like LeBron. And once customers use a brand's own words to describe themselves, the marketing compounds on its own without you spending another dollar. Now let's talk about the money, because I did say $100 million brand, so we should see if the math checks out. And the math is almost embarrassing. Back to layer one on the consumables with the ritual stack. Somebody will spend about $40 a month on those reoccurring supplements on the extreme low end. So let's call that $500 a year from one customer. To hit 100 million, you would need about 200,000 of those people. LeBron's audience on Instagram alone is 161 million people. That's basically converting 1 out of every 1,000 followers. And then also the thing everybody forgets that he already owns is he already has a media company, Spring Hill, the one he built with his partner Maverick Carter, that's doing around $700 million. Most brands are scraping together a content budget and just blast out and spray and pray and hope somebody watches. He could go ahead and greenlight an entire documentary of his final season against Father Time, retire at the end of it, and turn that finale into the most watched product launch sports has ever seen. And that to me is the part that makes this so much bigger than just an athlete product line. Every athlete brand has the same hidden flaw built right into it. It's priced on relevance, and for the large majority of athletes, relevance dies the same day you retire. This one does the opposite. The day LeBron walks away, the story actually gets stronger, because now the body of work is finished, and the only question left is how on earth he pulled it off. He becomes the evidence. Jordan turned his prime into a sneaker empire. LeBron's once-in-a-history asset is not a single moment. It's the durability, and a durability brand might just launch best on the day he actually ends his career. So that's my answer. Skip the aisle that everybody's already crowded into. Go find the shelf nobody's bothered to design for. Name the enemy everyone over 30 already feels in their knees, then build it in that order. The ritual first, then the object, then the identity, and then use that media company to build an entire world around it. And if you notice, none of that required inventing anything. Well, except the still chair. But it's the same playbook I've been walking through for all the videos on this channel. Is find product categories that nobody's paying attention to or has not perfectly positioned yet. It can work on a foam roller startup with 0 followers, and it can also work for the guy who is worth $1 billion and has 160 million people listening to him on Instagram. That's kind of the whole point, is the process works. So if you want me to do this for somebody else or another athlete, please drop a comment. I would love to turn this into a series of being the creative strategist for people. And if you are a brand that is struggling with positioning or you need help identifying the levers to pull creatively, please reach out to me at the link in the bio. Fill out the form, we will check it out and see if it makes sense to set up a call and see if we can help you. And if you got something from this video, please like, subscribe, share it with a friend, and I will continue to break down how brands can win. Love y'all, keep creating.